to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life, whether to stay in the UK or to move to New Zealand. Teachers Vanessa and Phil Taylor have been thinking about going to New Zealand for a better life for their family for some years.
As a teacher in the UK, your work life intrudes into your home life. The work-life balance is the key factor in us looking to move to New Zealand.
But they have 3 teenage children and not all of them want to go.
I don't think that's for me. There's not really much around that I can do.
I think I'd miss my friends if I moved out here, and I don't really like it here.
It's a massive decision because I've got the option to stay behind and not go.
Will their dream be shattered when their home is valued at a rock-bottom price?
That is ridiculous, I have to say. I would rather stay in the UK, simple as that.
And all this will have been for nothing.
The Taylors have some tough choices ahead of them. What will they decide? With its magnificent landscape and small population of only 4 million, New Zealand is many people's idea of the perfect place to get away from it all. To apply to live in New Zealand as a skilled migrant, you must be between the ages of 20 and 55 and be on the skills shortage list. But a move down under is never straightforward. We've given another British family the opportunity to spend a week down under to see if it's all they've dreamt it would be. After that, they'll have to make a decision, one way or the other, to stay in the UK or to move to New Zealand. Vanessa and Phil Taylor live in Auckland in Middlesbrough with their teenage children Liam, Ryan and Megan, and they're about to find out what life is really like in New Zealand. Full-time teachers Vanessa and Phil have had enough of the rat race in the UK. They want a better work-life balance and more opportunities for their children's future.
When all comes to all, it's about lifestyle. Being a teacher, it's very busy, it's very time-consuming, and it's a lifestyle issue that we seem to be working, and we didn't seem to have a great deal of time for ourselves.
We were getting pretty dismayed, really, with things that were going on in the UK, and that's what instigated the fact that we wanted to move away.
New Zealand with its open spaces seemed like the ideal place to go.
For all of us, especially the kids in the future.
Ryan and sister Megan think they're sold on New Zealand's outdoor lifestyle.
I was quite excited at first because the immediate reaction, I put a connection between New Zealand and the New Zealand rugby team. And of course I really love rugby, so it just kind of clicked straight away.
I hated it to start with. I didn't know anything about New Zealand being like horse countryside, no idea. I've researched about horses and stuff over there, and my mum and dad have said, oh, I might be able to get a horse while we're over there, so I'm feeling happy with that.
But 17-year-old Liam doesn't want to leave behind his friends and his work with the St John's ambulance service.
I'm 99.9% sure I won't go. I think I'm going to be the hardest one to convince to go to New Zealand. It's going to be a bigger decision for me than it is for Megan and Ryan or my mum and dad. When it boils down to it, I think it'll be whether I'm prepared to leave my family to stay here, because I think they'll all make the decision to go in the end, but I don't see what's in it for me.
Liam doesn't really want to leave his friends, which is a shame, because I think the opportunities that New Zealand can offer Liam would be probably more beneficial than all of the rest of us. Hopefully he can see the potential that that lifestyle can offer him.
I'm really hoping that it does convince him, because, well, if it doesn't, then, you know, what is the... He'll be staying here and we'll be 12,000 miles away.
Vanessa would also be leaving behind her grandma. The thought of abandoning her is unbearable.
Since my mum died when I was 19, my grandma sort of took her place. She's just been very supportive of everything, taking over the role, I suppose, of what my mum would have done if she was here. She doesn't think she'll be able to cope with the long flight, so I know that she won't be able to come over. It will be difficult, but it's something that I'm prepared to do.
With such strong emotional ties back in the UK, it's clearly not going to be an easy decision. We're sending the Taylors to the vibrant city of Auckland for a chance to experience life down under. Auckland is situated at the top of New Zealand's North Island and is known as the City of Sails. It's the perfect base to explore the island. The Taylors reckon their housing budget is £235,000, so they should be able to find a suitable property if they shop around.
We found 3 possible lifestyles for our family, each one offering a brand new way of life for them to try on their budget. But which one will be the most suitable?
Living in the city would be a world away from the Taylors' life back in Middlesbrough and would provide them with easy access to schools, colleges and sports clubs. Auckland is a fast-growing metropolis and property is plentiful, from high-rise living to townhouses. But these come at a premium, especially if you want a 5-bedroom house like this, which could cost over £500,000. Too expensive for the Taylors, but there are more affordable homes in the suburbs, and it should only be a 15-minute commute to work in the city.
So very different from their life in the UK. But what about the second option?
Country life is what the Taylors are longing for and would be very different to their life back home. Close to beautiful parks and wildlife, the family would have plenty to explore. Bigger properties with land are potentially more affordable in the country and could give them both the space and land for horses that they crave. Also, with both Vanessa and Phil being teachers, they have some flexibility as to where they work. And with good transport links to schools in the city centre, the children can have the best of both worlds.
That all looks very inviting. But what about the third option?
Coastal living could be ideal. The Taylors are looking to relax and spend time together as a family, so the coast would provide the more laid-back lifestyle they're looking for in New Zealand. There are some great houses along the coast, but those sea views don't come cheap, and extra land for horses could double the cost. Vanessa and Phil could have an easy commute for work, and the children would enjoy going to the beach after school.
So 3 very different options there, all of them life-changing. So where did we decide to send the Taylors?
We decided that the rural option is the most suitable for the family. It'll provide them with a good mix of country living as well as opportunities to find spacious family houses within their budget. For their trial week, we've lined up a teaching job for Vanessa.
Quick things and get some ideas from you as well. It's not just going to be me standing here telling you. I'd like, a lot of input from you as well.
They'll sample a selection of housing options in the west of Auckland.
You didn't get lost?
Sort of.
How are you going?
Better for finding the place.
They'll get a taste of New Zealand life.
What did you think of that?
Loved it.
You loved it?
But they have a tough week ahead of them as they try to make the biggest decision of their lives.
I would want them not to worry about what's going on back here, because this will always be home. But it doesn't have to always be their home.
The Taylors are finally making the trip they've dreamt of for years. The journey takes them 12,000 miles as they cross 3 continents from Middlesbrough to New Zealand. 32 hours later, they reach Auckland, jet-lagged and tired.
I thought the flight was pretty awful, actually. So, extremely tired. But it has made me realise that I don't think there's any way that my grandma will be doing that flight. Definitely not.
Not unless she can afford first class, which I don't think she will. No.
Now I'm here, I just want to get out and go somewhere. I haven't got anything.
I just can't wait to just find out really what the place is all about.
Let's see what New Zealand's got in store for them. It's the first time any of the Taylors have ever been down under. They'll be staying in the rural area of Piha, situated in West Auckland, which should suit Megan's dream of being near horses. The house is classic Piha living, open plan and designed to capture the ultimate use of space and light. So what will they make of it?
Lovely and big, the rooms. Good first impression.
Obviously keen on the barbecues as well.
Well, you'd be into barbecues too if this was the view from your veranda.
Yeah, right. How close are we?
It's amazing, isn't it?
So considering this is your first hour in New Zealand, it's not going too badly then, is it?
No. I'm sure I'll find something I'll dislike this.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
While the others soak in their surroundings, Megan's beginning to feel unsure.
I didn't expect it to be this much plant life. I thought I'd see some more animals. All I've seen is sheep. The beach looks nice and the views, and the house is nice, but I haven't seen any horses. That's quite bad, considering that's what I wanted to do here.
They all agree it's a stunning place, but can they see themselves living here?
I mean, just this moment now, you can't beat where we are now. But how long will it take for the novelty to wear off, though? There's
been a lot of places where I've been on holiday and thought, I like this, but I couldn't live there. And that's the danger, is that you treat this like a holiday, and it's when you actually, if you decide to come and you come for real, that's when it's going to make the difference, I think.
And if the family do decide to come, son Liam may choose to stay in the UK.
I think it'll definitely be a difficult one, because if we do decide to come here and Liam decides he's not coming, then it means that he's on the other side of the world and we're over here without him.
Well, it's not really a question, because I don't particularly like this place, to be honest. I don't like Piha.
Why?
I just don't. The views are the only good thing about it, I think. It's too quiet.
You can make a judgment on a place even though the only place you've been in that place is here, because you fell asleep on the car ride here.
I went 24 hours on a plane. I'm knackered. Leave me alone.
With tensions high, this could be a difficult week. Back in the UK, the Taylors live in a 5-bedroom detached house which they love. If they make the move to New Zealand, they'd want something of similar size. It's on the market already for £235,000. And if they can get that asking price, they'd have £100,000 in equity to put towards a New Zealand home. But property near Auckland is expensive, and with lower wages, could they still afford that dream home? Property further out of town is cheaper, so they're starting their search in the Waitakere area of West Auckland.
Hi.
Hiya.
I'm Kathleen, how are you? You didn't get lost?
Sort of.
How you going? Kathleen.
Better for finding the place.
Property 1 is a 4-bedroom detached house which has recently been redecorated by its owner, with a definite steer towards one end of the colour palette.
What do you think of the colour?
There's a little figure that was called Tinky Winky, and I would call it
Teletubbies?
Yeah. Tinky Winky.
It's purple.
Mm.
Well, this is aubergine.
Ah, aubergine. That's all right then.
There's a lot of it everywhere else as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, come on through. Let's have a look through the living areas. Nice neutral colours, apart from our rather purple wall.
Any non-purple selling points you'd like to share?
I mean, it's a beautiful home in amongst bush, but not too far from anywhere. One of the added touches is not only the bush surround, but your magnificent views across the countryside, and they are very, very pleasant. Come on through and we'll have a look at the bedrooms.
They're not huge, but there's a bedroom for everybody.
We'll go through and review them all one by one, but pick them now by all means.
It's quite light and airy, I think. It's not too bad.
And now, obviously, for Mum and Dad. You've got your own patio area. So it's a nice cool breeze runs through here in the heat of summer. It's really pleasant.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, they like bits of the house, but they're hardly bowled over by Property One. The big question is, can they afford to be picky?
So, how much is it then?
Property's on the market for $539,000. Obviously, the vendor will be negotiable. To what point? We don't know at this stage, so...
Well, that's not too bad, providing they can sell their house in the UK for the asking price. Then their mortgage would be about the same. But what do they think about Property One?
I like the location of this house.
Yep.
I mean, the views really are great. But I'm not too keen on the inside of it, I have to say. Bedrooms are quite small. For 5 people, I don't think it's big enough.
The children love the style of their spacious rental in Piha, but do they like this more modest home?
I don't think the property is for me. There's not really much around that I can do, apart from hang around the house, which I think is a bit small anyway.
This just doesn't fit the bill, really. There's still a couple of properties to go. If they're anything like the houses around the Piha area, I think it might be able to convince me, but at the moment I think I'm still very England for houses.
Oh no, house hunting definitely isn't convincing Liam that this move is a good idea. But for their budget, they might just struggle to fulfil their aspirations. So we've taken them 10 minutes away to the village of Riverhead to look at a do-up, which is Kiwi speak for rundown.
Don't worry about shoes, you can leave them on. As I've mentioned, this is a do-up. And you would appreciate as you walk through, there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done on the property. The bathrooms need to be done up, and there's structurally it's sound, it's fine, but certainly when it comes to presentation, you need to do some work.
So how much do you expect this property to realise on the market?
He would look at something in the region of 500s, in the 500s.
Wow, that's a big price tag considering the amount of work that needs doing. But if they can do most of it themselves, it's still got a good chance of coming in on budget.
This ideally is a rumpus area good for teenagers to use on a rainy day.
Is this a damp smell that I'm obviously smelling? What is it?
It is a bit of a damp smell in here.
So you said it was structurally sound, but is there some damp somewhere?
Structurally, it's a concrete building, and there wouldn't be any problems with it structurally. But obviously, the carpet and all of the drapes and things like that would have a fair bit of moisture in it, and I would think all that needs to be changed.
Megan doesn't seem impressed with the mouldy smell, but luckily Phil can see past the end of his nose.
I'm thinking what you would have to do to it, which doesn't particularly bother me. You could plaster it, you'd maybe have to do the ceilings, but none of that would sort of put me off.
You're a brave man, Mr. Taylor.
It looks to me as though it's had no modernisation whatsoever.
Nothing, no.
Maybe the upstairs will be more up to date.
Oh, this is slightly better.
It is. This is basically the living area with all of the bedrooms at this level. The lounge here extends out into the open deck. Nice to sit out there in the evening sun.
It doesn't look very safe out there. They'll need to do a lot of work before they can enjoy those views.
I have to say I'm not overly keen to come out here because there is extensive work you would have to do to actually make it safe.
And the list goes on.
There's obviously been a leak at some point up there.
Oh, yeah. I see that, yes.
So, I mean, the roof would obviously need attention as well, so that's more money, isn't it? And
what I'd recommend is actually getting a building inspector in a place like this of this age. You have all the aspects of the building looked at thoroughly.
Hang on, I thought you said it was structurally sound.
Money well spent then.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
That basically you've got an outer shell, and I would be tempted. It's such a poor layout inside in terms of the way things are laid out that I would take all of the interior walls out. Anything that wasn't load-bearing, and start from scratch. I think you'd have to. I don't think there's much you could save in here.
But as you said, it's just a shell, or little more than the shell.
I really don't like this.
Right, I think we're agreed that the Taylors aren't into property too, but Ryan's come up with a plan to build their own house, and he's going to design it.
So he goes to university to become an architect. You start the building, yeah? You learn to become a builder.
I'm not going in a partnership with you.
Yeah, we can. Come on, Ryan.
I'll be
I'm not going in a partnership with you.
I'll be the MD, you because two can work for me.
I'll be the interior designer.
Right, that's it, I'm out.
It's good to see they aren't too put off by property too, but what do Vanessa and Phil really make of it all?
It's a good sized house and it's a reasonable sized plot of land, but I think the interior layout it's a little bit ad hoc. It looks as though it's been put together over time.
Well, it was built in the 70s. It's been lived in since the 70s, and it's still stuck in the 70s, I think.
Right, let's hope that Property 3 can take the Taylors into the 21st century. It's further out than the first two houses, but it may just tick all the boxes. With stunning views over the Kaipara Harbour and on a large plot of land.
I'm Phil, is it?
I'm Phil, yeah.
I'm Bill.
Pleased to meet you, Bill.
Vanessa?
Hello, I'm Vanessa, yeah.
Hi. So come up, should we look through the house first? And then we'll show you through the land, around the land.
Sound?
After damp and dark Property 2, this is a breath of fresh air.
Well, this is quite nice, isn't it?
Yep, very nice.
The land is that's the boundary fence right there, and then you've got 3 paddocks here. You can see 2 small ones in front of us to the trees, and up to the road there, over there, a larger paddock over there towards the road.
Oh, so that part
This all belongs to this.
Oh, I thought it was just to that first fence.
No, you've got 2.5 acres.
That's amazing. It's all they've ever dreamt of. And if they could afford this house, Megan could keep her horse at home.
This has got to be
So
out
it's
price
a four-bedroom house on about 2.5 acres, asking price of $699.
Sold.
I'm sold. I like it, thank you.
Yeah?
Another 20 minutes drops the price considerably. This was in Cume, it would be another 100,000 more. And just because it's 20 minutes travelling time, makes it a bit cheaper.
I found 2 rooms that could possibly be mine, and they're both amazing.
Well, hopefully one's next door.
No, one's this one and one's the back one.
It's great to see Megan so enthused. I hope this means they won't be squabbling over who gets which room.
That's also my room.
What's in the cupboard?
The bathroom.
Oh, I see.
So this is the main bedroom with its ensuite, 3-piece ensuite. Fitted cupboards.
I'm sold.
Don't be so sure, Megan. You might get the smallest room.
I don't like this. This is just wrong. Just wrong.
This is a bedroom, yeah?
Our study. But you get a single bed in here, just.
Yeah, it's a bit small, isn't it, this one?
Yeah. There is another room outside in the garage, which I can show you, which might do very well for your daughter.
The rear half of the garage is in the process of being converted into a 5th bedroom.
Well, I'll have this because my horse can go in the corner, my bedroom can go here, I'll have a fridge over there.
It'll be quiet in there.
This house could be just right for them. Meanwhile, the boys are wasting no time dreaming about the great outdoors.
So it's a massive amount of land. I mean, I'm sure we could make a bit flat enough and put a set of rugby posts to practice your kicking on. Or is that wishful thinking?
That property was far superior to the other two. So we're a bit happier about property in New Zealand now, because that was pretty much perfect.
This is much more the kind of thing that we had in mind. When you couple that with a view from the living room, it's pretty spectacular. Very nice.
They found their perfect home, but it's out of their budget. By how much depends on what they'll make on their UK house. But for now, how will they vote on property?
Living on an estate in Middlesbrough where there are 4 or 5 designs of house that are the same, I would have to say that I prefer the individuality of New Zealand.
The New Zealand houses just pip the UK, so I'm going to choose New Zealand.
My vote's going to have to be for New Zealand.
New Zealand's my vote.
So finally, with Liam adamant that New Zealand's not for him, how will he vote?
Because I'm kind of an outrageous kind of guy, I'm going to go for New Zealand.
But if all they could afford would be property one, would they still be so sure?
Well, it's good to see the Taylors can all agree on something. Now it's up to Vanessa to find work to finance the new lifestyle and a new mortgage.
Back in the UK, Vanessa's been teaching food technology at secondary school for 4 years. She earns around £30,000, but work often involves long hours and less time spent with her family. It's time to find work that can finance both the dream home and lifestyle that she craves in New Zealand.
I'm going to Balmoral School to teach a class of Year 7s. I'm a little bit nervous about it, which I think is probably a good thing. I've run through lots of things in my head, what it's going to be like. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be quite a good experience. I mean, this is what I've been planning all along, you know, so I love it or hate it. Hopefully I'll love it.
She's arranged to meet the school's principal, Malcolm Milner. Malcolm's got plenty of experience employing Brits at his school and is happy for Vanessa to get straight to work.
I'll leave you here, Vanessa.
Thank you very much.
All the best. Have a good afternoon.
I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Now, this time you've been working on creating a product. Now, the brief also asks you to design a packaging and packaging label. Fortunately for us, we have an expert, Mrs. Taylor. She's going to work with you and then help you design your packaging and packaging labels.
Right, so I'm going to be just briefly giving you a quick overlook at food packaging and labelling from the viewpoint of how it happens in the UK, because I don't know everything about New Zealand yet. I'm just going to go over a few quick things and get some ideas from you as well. It's not just going to be me standing here telling you. I'd like, you know, a lot of input from you as well.
Across the town of Muriwai, the rest of the family are doing research into the surf lifestyle.
Hi guys, so you keen on a bit of surfing?
Yeah, definitely.
Ever done any surfing before?
No.
Perfect. Okay, I'm expecting to have you all standing and riding in one lesson.
Any expectations?
Don't worry, Megan. The girls always do best. The first thing, we've got to be down the middle of the surfboard, okay? And we've got to be on the sweet spot. Too far forward and it nosedives, too far back and we've got the handbrake on. When the wave's about 2 surfboard lengths behind us, we start to paddle. Here it comes. As soon as I feel the wave start to push me along, I put my hands flat on the deck of the surfboard and nice and close, and then we go. 1, keep the weight forward on the arms. 2, put the back foot in position. 3, front foot in position. Yep, so the more you pull that back leg up, guys, the easier it is. Looking good. This is it. Megan, it's on.
I think it's quite interesting to see them attempting this because they've never surfed before. We're all starting with a level playing field for once, so it'll be interesting to see who does the best out of the 3 of them. It's fantastic to see them out there. It's something that I would never have said to them. I know what we'll do this weekend. We'll find a beach and we'll find a surf shop and we'll go surfing, because there are opportunities on the northeast coast to surf. You never know. They might not take to this in particular, but it might open some avenues for them to try new things. So it is good. Yeah.
But Phil knows this dream lifestyle is heavily reliant on the New Zealand education system making a good impression on Vanessa today.
I'm hoping that Vanessa's experience at the school will give her an insight into what it's actually like to work in a secondary school for Vanessa in New Zealand. I'm hoping that she just shows what a good teacher she is. It will be different, and it's going to be difficult going into a class that you don't know, and you don't know the capabilities, but I'm sure she'll do absolutely fine.
Right, just to get your brains going, and there's 3 words there. At the moment, they're all mixed up, and if you can just have a go at working out what those words might be. It's such a joy, really, almost, to be in a classroom where the kids are attentive and listen to everything that you say and are willing to work. Oh, excellent, you've got one. We've got two here. Some school children in the UK have a lot to learn from the kids here in New Zealand, shall we say. So when it's on the supermarket shelf, jumping out, it's very eye-catching, that, very bright colours in there.
She's doing exactly what I will do with the kids, yeah. And at the moment, there are shortage of technology teachers in New Zealand. So that's a positive for her, yeah. And seeing her teach, she fits in very well with, as if she's been here for knowing the kids for a while.
Vanessa seems to have really enjoyed herself, and the children have got a package of their own to give her.
On behalf of roommate and team, we'd like to thank you, Mrs. Taylor, for coming in today and teaching us new skills about packaging and bakeries.
Thank you very much. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Can I just say it's been a real pleasure to be in here today. I've loved coming in and working with you, and I hope to come back again and see you soon. So thank you very much. It's been really good. That was a really nice surprise, yeah. I was very touched. Yeah, it was great.
Thank you very much.
I hope the kids have enjoyed it as much as I have.
They have, yeah. They have, yeah. You've done the hard work for me.
Vanessa really fits into this New Zealand school. But how have the rest of the family taken to new challenges?
I'm very pleased that they're attempting something new, that they're all out of the comfort zone. A new experience never hurt anybody. That's why I'm here on the beach. He's up! I don't believe it. Hey, I don't believe that. Go on, Liam, what do you get? He's up. And he's down again. The work-life balance is the key factor in us looking to move to New Zealand. As a teacher in the UK, you do find that your work life intrudes into your home life, and you find that it's very easy to let the leisure time slip and let work take over. And I'm hoping that by moving to New Zealand, it'll sort of redress the balance. And we get more time to be together as part of, you know, as a family, and to do things together, even if it is new stuff. I think it'll do us all good as a family. Well, how was that?
Wet.
Wet, Megan? What do you think? What?
I got hit in the ear by the surfboard.
Did you?
What did you think of that?
Loved it. You loved it? Yeah. Was that because you were the first one up?
I don't know.
Yeah. Good, good.
I think they had fun. A bit of salt water up their nose, never hurt anyone. Good washout. Hey.
It seems that New Zealand has a lot to offer the Taylor family in terms of the work-life balance they crave so much. But Vanessa still needs to have that all-important discussion about salary. If they can't make the sums add up, any idea of a move could be in jeopardy.
I earn nearly £30,000 in the UK, and I know that the wages are lower in New Zealand, but obviously the cost of living is lower as well. So what could I expect?
You would possibly be in the range of about 55,000 New Zealand dollars, I think, with your experience and qualifications.
So that's quite good. Cost of living's lower, isn't it, like I keep saying, so...
But if you live in Auckland, you get the same wage. There's no London waiting or like you get in the UK. So for a teacher to live in the central part of Auckland and have it, it's very expensive. So if you live in a little provincial town where the houses might cost 50,000, or you could live in the heart of Auckland where you're paying around here 650,000 upwards for a property. So
that's quite interesting, isn't it? The salary for teachers in New Zealand was lower than in the UK. I was a little worried that we wouldn't be able to manage it, wouldn't be something that we could do, because the cost of living here in New Zealand is lower. That will offset that, so it doesn't seem too bad. Perfectly manageable anyway.
Until Vanessa sat down and worked out the figures, she can't be sure. before she gets that chance, how will she vote on her experience in a New Zealand school?
Teaching in New Zealand is very similar to the UK, but it does seem that there's more opportunity to actually teach rather than deal with behavioural issues, which there are a lot of in the UK, and it's a lot friendlier environment as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to choose New Zealand.
Vanessa and Phil have been dreaming about moving to New Zealand and starting a new life for some time.
Loads of space and a better lifestyle for all of us, especially the kids in the future.
But convincing the children to move to the other side of the world won't be easy.
I'm just not sure if it's totally possible for me yet.
Will Megan's fall put her off New Zealand for good?
I don't really like it here. I think I'd miss my friends if I moved out here.
They may have fallen in love with the rural properties, but the week's not over yet. And if the sums don't add up, then New Zealand may only be a fantasy for the family.
What the estate agent in the UK said about our house, it would be less equity to bring over, we would be paying out more. What's the point?
The Taylors may have found their dream house down under, but the property they can afford in New Zealand will depend on the price they can get for their house back in the UK.
Their home is a 5-bedroom property which they bought in 2000, and they've extended it to fit their family of 5. The Taylors believe it's now worth £235,000. We sent round a local estate agent to give his opinion on what he thinks it's worth.
Hey, it looks clean. It looks tiny.
It does, doesn't it?
Reception room, nice bright room, plenty of natural light.
It's terrible, it makes it look tiny.
Pleasant dining area, ideal for entertaining.
We've entertained lots in there.
Ooh, attractive modern kitchen, nice appliances. Ooh, very nice garden as well.
Yes, well done. Shoes off.
Wow. Nice, bright, spacious bedroom. Must be a rugby fan.
Yep.
Nice, bright room. Walk-in wardrobe. Nice feature. Good selling point.
Yeah, there's one in the other room as well, mate.
Good sized room. Very nice.
We haven't been in the disastrous bedroom yet.
Oh, he's not going in? Hey!
The Taylors have had their house valued previously at £235,000. But what does the agent think its current value is?
This is a lovely 5-bedroom extended property in a very sought-after location and close links to all local schools. The master bedroom would benefit from an ensuite, however it's still a very charming property. £185,000 for a quick sale.
You were joking.
For a quick sale? That is ridiculous, I have to say.
It was 225, 235 and 245, the 3 valuations we got.
And
so we went for 235, it's on the market for 235.
And there's probably a reason why you haven't had any viewings.
Yeah, well that's no good. It's
because it's too high.
Then it's pointless. We'd hardly have any money to bring over. Wouldn't
Well,
be worth it.
let's sell it at that. I would rather stay in the UK. Simple as that.
And all this will have been for nothing.
With that crushing news, Phil and Vanessa are going to have to do their sums to see if a move to New Zealand is possible at all.
We've prepared a comparison of their UK and New Zealand expenses to see if they can afford a life down under.
UK versus New Zealand, cost of weekly shop, 107, if we bought it in the UK. Total weekly shop in New Zealand, 128. Cost of living, supposed to be cheaper here. But looking at that, it's not. For horse riding lessons, £315. Petrol, that's got to be cheaper here.
It says £41. Cheaper.
More for water. Right, so this is the interesting bit. Apparently, it's it's £1,000 more expensive per month to live here. So it's drastically worse off living here, looking at that.
With a bad exchange rate and a possibility of only half the equity in their house, it makes their monthly outgoings much more expensive than they'd bargained for.
The biggest expense on there, which makes the difference to that bottom line figure, is the mortgage. If these figures are correct, if the cost of living is £1,000 a month more, then it's just not worth it.
Realistically, I don't think there's any point buying a cheaper house just because that's all we would be able to afford. Because you'll resent coming here, and that's not the object of what we want. What's the point?
The Taylors want to spend more time together as a family and hope to find this in New Zealand. But what exactly does the Kiwi lifestyle have to offer?
Back in the UK, Liam and the family give up a lot of their free time to the St John's ambulance service. Leaving this behind will be hard for Liam, who's seeing it as a stepping stone to a future career as a paramedic. Phil and Vanessa hope that showing him he has the same opportunities here might begin to convince him he could build a future in New Zealand.
I understand you've got an interest in St John in the UK.
It was Liam really who started it all with his interest.
So he's the one that goes
He's
out
probably
on
the most
duties
knowledgeable of us.
So it's your fault then?
Yeah.
It's all my fault. Oh, well, that's nice because my son, he's grown up with the ambulance service and he's an advanced paramedic in Whangarei.
Right.
So he's followed on as well.
So what's the chances of Liam doing something like this out here in New Zealand?
With experience in the UK, probably a good chance. I mean, I'm not involved with the recruitment,
Yeah.
but have a good chance having a St John background.
We thought this was something that Liam might enjoy, and it looks like we've been right. He's very excited, and it looks like this might be the thing that actually brings him here.
The type of stuff that we do in the UK, we do what they call eventing, which is virtually all volunteer work, and this is taken to the next level, and this is the type of thing that Liam had his heart set on with our NHS, and this might be a way into it for him. I think that's why he's so excited about what he's seen. Fingers crossed, you don't know, do you?
Well, you can probably tell by the smile on my face, I'm extremely happy being able to come to an ambulance station over here. It's given me quite a lot to think about. It's made me think that New Zealand might be a good option to take. I think at the moment I'm still quite swayed towards the UK, but I think New Zealand is slowly growing on me. I do have to admit.
That's potentially great news. Vanessa and Phil are delighted that they may have found something that could convince Liam to move down under. But there's still the question of Megan. If she doesn't see some horses soon, they could be right back to square one. Back in the UK, Megan loves horse riding, and if they make the move down under, Mum and Dad have even promised her a horse. The Taylors are off to check out the local horse riding centre in West Auckland.
Do you guys want to settle them up? So you can have that for a tour.
This is what Megan's always been looking forward to. If anything's going to convince her about New Zealand, this should be it. I hope it lives up to her dreams.
Yeah, this is the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to. Mainly because, I just love horses better than anything else. Hello.
But Vanessa's feeling anxious. She's been injured falling from a horse in the past, but she'll do anything to persuade Megan.
A bit nervous, yeah, because you never know with a new horse, but it should be fine. Up until this morning, Megan actually said, at the moment, it's the UK for me. But of course, she hadn't seen any horses up until then. So I would think by the end of the day, this would change her mind.
Phil is absolutely sure their plan is going to work.
Yeah, I think this would be the lifestyle I could certainly live with, and Vanessa could. If there's a horse involved, Megan will be more than happy. That horse seems so it's a little bit spirited.
Megan's in her element so far, but is Liam warming up to a life down under?
I think this is an excellent lifestyle to live, if it's possible. But I'm just not sure if it's totally possible for me yet.
This stumble couldn't have come at a worse moment. If she won't get back on the horse, this could put her off New Zealand for good.
She's actually come off a number of times before, but never like that. See, that's what I mean. You just don't know the horses. No falling in the trough. If you fall off your horse, it's cool. If you fall off the trough, it's really bad.
Done like a true professional, Megan's straight back on.
You didn't panic though, Megan.
That's because I've been on a lot of horses that try to buck me off.
Phil and Vanessa have done everything they can to convince Megan she could make a life here. But will it be enough?
I like riding in England better, to be honest. And I like the horses better there as well. Yeah, it's a lot different riding. These horses are a lot bouncier. And the horses I ride at home they're quicker, but they're smoother to ride. I think I'd miss my friends if I moved out here, and I wouldn't really like to go to school here, I don't think. I don't really like it here.
It sounds like Phil and Vanessa have their work cut out for them. So, after an eventful day's riding, will they vote UK or New Zealand for lifestyle?
In New Zealand there seems to be a lot more to do. Everything about the lifestyle in New Zealand seems better, so I'm going to vote New Zealand.
From what we've seen so far, I would have to vote New Zealand.
Because there's more opportunity, I'm going to stick with New Zealand.
For me, I'm just going to have to vote New Zealand.
I already like my lifestyle in the UK, and there's not really much to do here, so I vote UK.
That's a terrible blow. Phil and Vanessa have spent months getting Megan on side. Could this be the end of the road?
The Taylors, apart from Megan of course, have really enjoyed their time spent in New Zealand. But how will hearing messages from friends and family help them make their final decision?
We've prepared a DVD of messages from loved ones back home.
Hello, hi Vanessa, hi Phil, hi boys, hi Megan.
Hi Vanessa, Phil, kids. I hope you've had an absolutely fabulous time when you've been out there.
Hi everyone, hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
There's a bit of going on, you know what I mean? I can't say it enough. I don't love him as my boy, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about him.
She's quite quiet until you get to know her. She has a very dry sense of humour.
She's a very loving person. She's loving to me because we're very close, with her not having a mother, of course. She was old enough to look after herself after mother died, but I was always there when she needed me.
She's more than a grandmother to her. She is a substitute mother for her. That bond is always there, always has been with a grandmother.
If Liam went out there, he wouldn't settle anywhere. I think he'd want to come home. If he did go.
I think my sister would be disappointed if he didn't go. To leave one behind and you go all the other way around the other side of the world, I think would be a big thing to leave him behind.
Ryan and Megan are two very outstanding children. He's a very loving child as well, Ryan. You know, we get on really well. And Megan, she gets a bit stroppy, but girls do, don't they?
You know, I mean, across the board, the great kids.
I think we've missed most about them is the noise. They're always quite noisy.
The friendship with Vanessa I'll miss, really. I just think something that you've built up over the years, and it's hard really when you've just always been there.
Just want them to make it, like every mother wants the kids to see the kids get on and make it. Just be happy, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's very important. Be happy.
To be honest, I don't blame them actually. They've got a grown family and you've got to do what's best for your family really and best for you. And I think as much as you don't want them to go, they just do what they want to. I think you should give it a real go. I know it's going to be difficult leaving us all behind. But go for it, Vanessa and Phil and the kids. You'll have a ball when you're there.
For purely selfish reasons for myself, I would want Vanessa to stay here, but I'm not selfish. I would want them to thoroughly enjoy it, and I would want them not to worry about what's going on back here. Because this will always be home, but it doesn't have to always be their home.
Vanessa, don't think about anybody else. Just think about you and Phil and your children. If you want to stay, you stay. If you want to come home, you come home.
It's a difficult time for you, we know. There's lots of decisions to be made. We'll do everything we can to make it easy for you, and, you know, we just want you to be happy. Just hope everything goes okay for you, Phil. You deserve it. You're a good man.
Missing you and look forward to seeing you again, and hope you all make the right decision.
It's, to be honest, it's pretty much the way I expected it to be. Everybody, all the family's been very supportive. They've said, you know, they wanted us to do what we feel is right.
I know everyone's supportive, and they even told us when making your decision, don't think about us, think about what's right for you. But you can't not bring them into mind.
I'm gonna miss them, but I wouldn't have a choice anyway. So if Mum and Dad decide to go, we have to.
I think it has made a difference seeing that. Well, she's just very matter of fact. Just puts the cards on the table and tells you how it is. You know, if you want to stay, stay. If you want to come home, come home. You know, it is as simple as that with her, really.
It's a massive decision, and I think it's an even bigger decision for me, because I've got the option to stay behind and not go, and that might impact the rest of the family's decision.
That's the hardest part. Making the move to live down under is the most difficult decision for them all, emotionally and financially. Their week has been a mixture of highs and lows.
The past week has been a roller coaster ride for the Taylors. They found their dream home.
So that was pretty much perfect.
This is much more the kind of thing that we had in mind. It's pretty spectacular. Very nice.
And the children took to New Zealand's outdoor lifestyle.
What did you think of that?
Loved it.
You loved it?
Horse-mad Megan wasn't too taken with the New Zealand horses.
She didn't enjoy the horse riding as much as she or I thought she would. And she's had quite a few negative days, and I thought she would have just liked everything about it, but that hasn't been the case.
The New Zealand work-life balance won Phil and Vanessa over, but the cost of living has really put a spanner in the works.
It does seem to offer everything that we were looking for, but at the moment, the obstacle is the financial situation.
I'd rather stay in the UK in a nice-sized house than come here and struggle financially.
New Zealand was attractive to begin with, but whether it still is or not, eventually we'll have to make a final decision.
And the question mark over Liam still looms large.
I think there is a lot of pressure on me to make a firm decision to whether I want to stay or to go. I think it affects my mum a lot, which kind of sways my decision towards I won't be selfish at all and I'll just go to make everybody else happy. But whether that's the best decision for me to make is another question.
Now it's crunch time. The ultimate decision could be down to Liam. If he chooses to stay in the UK, the pain of leaving their son behind could be too much for the family to bear. How will they vote?
New Zealand has a lot to offer, and I'm really going to miss people in the UK. However, with the age of technology the way it is, and I know I'll regret it for the rest of my life if I don't give it a go. I'm going to go with New Zealand.
There's a lot to leave behind and look back on, but I also think that there's a lot to look forward to, and for that reason I'm going to choose New Zealand.
There's a lot to offer here, and I know my friends are going to beat me up for this, but I'm going to choose New Zealand.
But now it all rests on Liam and Megan to cast their votes.
I've enjoyed myself more than I usually enjoy myself in the UK. As well as having the Bay of Plenty, it seems to be the land of plenty, so I'm going to choose New Zealand.
I've lived in the UK for 12 years and I've got loads of friends and family back in the UK, and I just don't think I can leave them, so I'm going to say UK.
This is good news that Liam has chosen New Zealand. Bit of a surprise that Megan hasn't. However, we've got 9 months to work on Megan.
Didn't work the last 9 months we worked on it.
If it turns out that we can't move to New Zealand, it will be quite devastating, because I've been looking at this for a very long time. But, as always, I'm going to try and find a way around it. And I will, because I'm coming.
Despite being disappointed by what they can get for their house in the UK, the Taylors all found something that life in New Zealand could offer them. And if they can persuade Megan, it looks like they will be making the move to live down under.
We're off to Essex next on BBC One, hoping to transform one of Britain's empty homes into a great family house. And then a woman who loves horse riding is on Cash in the Attic, under starters orders at 11:30.
Welcome to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life, whether to stay in the UK or to move to New Zealand.
Teachers Vanessa and Phil Taylor have been thinking about going to New Zealand for a better life for their family for some years.
As a teacher in the UK, your work life intrudes into your home life. The work-life balance is the key factor in us looking to move to New Zealand.
But they have 3 teenage children, and not all of them want to go.
I don't think that's for me. There's not really much around that I can do.
I think I'd miss my friends if I moved out here, and I don't really like it here.
It's a massive decision, because I've got the option to stay behind and not go.
Will their dream be shattered when their home is valued at a rock-bottom price?
That is ridiculous, I have to say. I would rather stay in the UK, simple as that.
And all this will have been for nothing.
The Taylors have some tough choices ahead of them. What will they decide? With its magnificent landscape and small population of only 4 million, New Zealand is many people's idea of the perfect place to get away from it all. To apply to live in New Zealand as a skilled migrant, you must be between the ages of 20 and 55 and be on the skills shortage list. But a move down under is never straightforward.
We've given another British family the opportunity to spend a week down under to see if it's all they've dreamt it would be. After that, they'll have to make a decision, one way or the other, to stay in the UK or to move to New Zealand.
Vanessa and Phil Taylor live in Auckland in Middlesbrough with their teenage children Liam, Ryan and Megan, and they're about to find out what life is really like in New Zealand. Full-time teachers Vanessa and Phil have had enough of the rat race in the UK. They want a better work-life balance and more opportunities for their children's future.
When all comes to all, it's about lifestyle. Being a teacher, it's very busy, it's very time-consuming, and It's a lifestyle issue that we seem to be working, and we didn't seem to have a great deal of time for ourselves.
We were getting pretty dismayed, really, with things that were going on in the UK, and that's what instigated the fact that we wanted to move away.
New Zealand with its open spaces seemed like the ideal place to go.
For all of us, especially the kids in the future.
Brian and sister Megan think they're sold on New Zealand's outdoor lifestyle.
I was quite excited at first because the immediate reaction, I put a connection between New Zealand and the New Zealand rugby team. And of course I really love rugby, so it just kind of clicked straight away.
I hated it to start with. I didn't know anything about New Zealand being like horse country, so I had no idea. I've researched about horses and stuff over there, and my mum and dad have said, oh, we might be able to get a horse while we're over there, so I'm feeling happy with that.
But 17-year-old Liam doesn't want to leave behind his friends and his work with the St John's Ambulance Service.
I'm 99.9% sure I won't go. I think I'm going to be the hardest one to convince to go to New Zealand. It's going to be a bigger decision for me than it is for Megan and Ryan or my mum and dad. When it boils down to it, I think it'll be whether I'm prepared to leave my family to stay here, because I think they'll all make the decision to go in the end, but I don't see what's in it for me.
Liam doesn't really want to leave his friends, which is a shame, because I think the opportunities that New Zealand can offer Liam will be probably more beneficial than all of the rest of us. Hopefully he can see the potential that that lifestyle can offer him.
I'm really hoping that it does convince him, because, well, if it doesn't, then, you know, what is the... He'll be staying here and we'll be 12,000 miles away.
Vanessa would also be leaving behind her grandma. The thought of abandoning her is unbearable.
Since my mum died when I was 19, my grandma sort of took her place. She's just been very supportive of everything, taking over the role, I suppose, of what my mum would have done if she was here. She doesn't think she'll be able to cope with the long flight, so I know that she won't be able to come over. It will be difficult, but it's something that I'm prepared to do.
With such strong